So here we are back again, thinking about talking and listening with our children. And so I spoke to you about being the fan club of the teenager, and in difficult circumstances or otherwise, how you listen to what the children are talking about in the middle phase. And if you think about what role you have for children at this age, it's completely different to the fan club. Because what we represent for the children of that age is how we are the masters of the world. So we are for them to look to see what we know, how we master the world, how we cope with everything, and we give them a picture of this is an amazingly huge world, and in it we have relationships with people. So when it becomes most critical for you, bringing up children between 7 and 14, is how you manage your relationships with people. It's going to have a much stronger effect on children if you are not getting on well with a variety of people, because you give them the picture of how to cope with social life. What people make mistakes with is when they hear children complaining about people, they start to limit how many people they get on with. And that's very isolating for life. And it makes you very, very critical of people in adult life.
Do you mean you stop them seeing the people they're
Yes.
getting on with?
Yes, to try and fix their lives. Because they complain about people, and then you stop seeing people, and then they end up not seeing people. Or they learn, dump that person, move on to that one. And everything matters now, you know. Everything that you do in your social and feeling life in the second phase is very important. So I'm always recommending join things, do things, fill up their lives with social activity that you're engaged in. And so it's being with groups that are mixed age rather than special play dates for their age. See how much better it is to be mixing with people, and it doesn't matter. If your main activity is visiting your grandmother in a care home and you're taking your children along, that is social. And whoever they talk to there or listen to there, it's really important. Don't leave them behind because you're going, don't drop them off swimming because you're going to the care home. Take them. Anything else that you can think of in this realm that expands their ability to socialize. So when you meet people, new and interesting people, or new and maybe you don't think they're very interesting, but there's possibilities here, extend how you would relate to them. Try not to see social life as exhausting. Why you see it as exhausting is because you can't do it very well. And because of what's happened to us as society, there are many, many families who don't mix with anyone. The parents go to work, the children go to school, and the rest of the time they don't mix with anyone. So this social life is very important. When your school has a social life, you're really helped because you have so many opportunities. But if your school doesn't have a social life, seek a social life. Be interested in people who are not your ideal best friend, and children will learn to cope with not quite the same as you. So the first stage of childhood, I mean, we don't have many people here who have got very little ones, but what we can do for the little ones is be absolutely sure. And this becomes the foundation that you can use through childhood. Be absolutely sure. For some people, I say, you've really got to come to terms with the fact that when you've got a child under 7, you're God, or at least God's messenger. And so you say things like bedtime. You don't say, it's nearly bedtime. You don't say you could play 10 more minutes because it's nearly bedtime. You actually say, the toys are going to go to bed now. You make commands like God does. Bedtime. Bedtime for the toys. Bedtime for the dog. Bedtime for the cat. And you just make it bedtime. Yeah, there was a situation where this boy was in a care home. He was about 6 years old. I think they're just above us. Yeah. Rearranging the room.
I think they're opening the door on the patio
okay.
and around it.
Yeah, okay.
That's what it is now.
Yeah. So anyway, they couldn't get this boy to bed because he'd go into a panic at bedtime and have a very bad tantrum. So I explained that if they started a ritual of putting the toys to bed, once the toys were all in bed, it was his bedtime and no more problems after that. So it's the way you speak. You've got to find these commands that mean something to the small child. And then, as they get older, if you manage that, they have that routine in them. It didn't waver. And of course, you must try from now on never to argue with the child. So I hope you feel that this was helpful with the evening on listening and talking, or talking and listening. And I hope that you have something that you can take home with you, and I'll look forward to seeing you not next month, but the month after, and hope that you can all have a meeting. Send me an email asking me what I've put the little bits of talk under, what titles. I'm still going to work that out. I know in principle I can do it. Thanks very much. Okay. Good night. Say good night to these people over here.